I mean, the thing is, it is pretty much like luck, to be honest. Like, it is some areas where the invisible walls are more often, or like where they like can appear. So I'm trying to like play like slightly more careful. But at least luckily, some of these issues I've had with invisible wall, some of them won't be an issue once I update my strats. Or at least one of them. Maybe two even. Yeah, I would say this is my favorite Mario game. But it's a lot, like, yeah. I would say this is my favorite Mario game, most likely. But I would say it's like 5 S-tier Mario games. Which is this, the 2 first Paper Marios, Mario Bros. 3, and Mario World. To me, that's like the 5 S-tier games. I'm not counting like Mario Kart, Mario Party, more like traditional style Mario games. Yeah, if you count like Mario Kart, then Double Dash would probably be S-tier too. Yeah, I guess Paper Mario is like a little bit of a stretch maybe. I don't know. It's hard to like, yeah. No, I can clearly see the argument for why Paper Mario wouldn't count. Yeah, if Paper Mario doesn't count, well, then the other 3 I mentioned. I do want to stream rollback on occasion too. It's just that my controller keeps getting delayed. And my current GameCube controller, it's literally unplayable for Melee. It like tap jumps every 5-6 dashes. If it was like, oh, I messed up like this once in a while, like, oh, I died to failed ledge dashes, it's like, whatever, right? I can still, you know, stream and have fun. But like, if I get accidental tap jumps every 5-6 dashes, it's like actually unplayable. I mean, a lot of like knowledge on controllers was not like common knowledge by any means. I remember when I brought up a lot of controller issues, and even good players did not believe me. Dude, I hate that one. I mean, learning this, if anything, it just felt fun to have something new to learn. Difference between best possible time and sum of best segment. Alright, so the difference is sum of best segment. So as you can see on this split, it says 2:19.63. That's the best time I've ever gotten on this stage. And sum of best is the best time I've gotten on each individual segment. But best possible time is basically if I play the best I've ever done for the rest of the run. But let's say I lose like 10 seconds in the first stage compared to my very, very best time, then sum of best possible time will go up by 10 seconds. I played this game as a kid, yeah. The first time I played it, we actually borrowed it from our cousin. I think we bought it on our own at some point after that, but I'm not 100% sure. Hardest part in SM64 that I didn't expect? That's a hard question because I knew that this game would be hella hard, and it's like arguably even harder than I expected. Oops. Like, I already knew it was going to be hella hard of a game, but it actually might be even harder than I expected. So, I don't know, really. Yeah. I've watched this game, like, since the start of Twitch, pretty much. I do remember introducing, like, fuzziness to SM64 on Twitch. And that was, like, early 2012. Which means that I'd already been watching it before that point. When I showed it in like February 2012. Really? But I think unless you're 100% certain or like 99 point something, I think having like too big of a goals right away is kind of silly. I mean, for some people, when I started with Melee, I had the feeling and urge that I wanted to be the best. And I mean, that urge never did, you know, lead as I was, you know, climbing the ranks and stuff. But for a lot of people, I think they might believe that they want to be the best, but they actually don't. It's very common. It's very common. We have talked about this topic in the past, and like it's a big difference between wanna be the best and wanna become the best. And that's the thing, like if you don't want to become the best, if you don't want to put in like all the hours and effort, then you actually don't want it in the first place. Like it's the whole package. It's not like you get to pick the parts. People are like, oh, I want to be, you know, the best in this game so I can earn money. Or I want to be the best because people will look up to me. Like, you gotta like take all the hours of like practice even when you might not feel for playing. And I think like that's like where a lot of people like get lost. That they're looking at like the perks, the rewards, but they're not looking into like the work and effort. And a lot of these same people will lack of talent in the process. Some people may want but don't have resources / time. These people exist, but I think they are like quite rare. Like sure, if you live in like, you know, a super poor country and you have to work like 2 jobs, 3 jobs to support your family, or you won't have food on the table, yeah, then I feel for you. That would be, you know, a rough spot, and I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. But a lot of people that I've met at least claim they don't have time, but they put priority on other stuff. And there's nothing wrong with putting priority on other stuff, but then it doesn't really come down to not having time. What do you do specifically to practice? Right now I just practice movement / character control and review theory / sets. I mean, that sounds like a solid ground to stand on. Ultimate doesn't have as much like tech skill to practice as Melee. But I mean, I still think like get all the bread and butter combos down to 100% efficiency or consistency is very important. Sorry, as you sometimes I have to focus on the stars, because you can see like differences between like, you know, decent players and really good players in Punish game. So getting them all down, like the bread and butter stuff, very important. For some characters, you can actually even practice that in training mode. And yeah, I think in Smash and fighting games in general, understanding the concept of why you got hit and what you could have done instead is super important. Like a lot of people might lose neutral in the same fashion like 80% of the time. Yeah, for now I'm having more like smaller steps. Like that means even if you have like a big step that you feel 100% certain about that you want to reach, it's still important with small steps, right? It's easier to like feel progress and stay motivated. But right now I don't want to have like a big goal because I'm not sure if I truly want, you know, to do that. But that's why I'm having smaller goals at the moment. I mean, I always used Peach against Falco. I was never a big, like... I mean, I got a bit better against Falco with Fox too, but... I was never good at the matchup, and I never could get any, like, super good practice in the matchup. And I mean, Falco is like, besides Icy's, Peach's best matchup of the top characters. She still probably loses very slightly, but... I mean, if you feel like the Falco matchup is a Peach main, if you feel like that one is too bad, then you swap character, because besides Icy's, it doesn't get better. Yeah, Drill Grab instead of Drill Shine is really good. Using side platforms in bad spots is nice. Be careful with challenge out of shield. A lot of Foxes challenge out of shield, and they get shined instead, and then they just eat a lot of damage. It's actually crazy even like how much Mango gets to get away with that. He pressures someone's shield, they try to shine out of shield, but they get caught by Mango's shine, and then they just die. Yeah, gold split saves even if the run isn't finished. It's just that when I close the program after the stream, it basically asks me if I want to save all the splits. So I always gotta make sure to press yes on that. And then full hops is really good as well with Fox, I feel like. Falco gotta be careful with like when and how he approaches if Fox is using like full hops. But it's not like you can only spam full hops. A good Falco will like bait it out. Oh, really? Yeah, a good Falco will bait you out and punish you for it. But a lot of like bad Falcos will like always approach immediately. That's the thing, like a lot of people that play, they don't understand like the concept of mixing up when they go in or how they go in. So some people that are like, oh, I want to play aggressive, they jump in every single time with the same timing, the same move, the same everything. And then when they get punished for it, they're like, oh, you're so lame. Or some of them are. It's like, no. But the thing is, like, some of these people legit believe that some top players do 100% offense. No baits, no defense. And I feel like that's part of the reason that they don't improve is because they look at the game so black and white. It can be hard to get the timing down for like up air, but Peach's up air can often like beat or at least trade. But I mean, trades are only really worth it if you get put in a position where you benefit from it. A good example of that would be when you have low damage and they have like mid damage. So you don't get knocked over, so you still get to combo them. Also, like Falco's down air, if he does it from far, far above, and like telegraphic, your up smash strictly just destroys his down air. So that can be a decent option sometimes too. But against good Foxes or Falcos against Peach, it's important to like not overcommit sometimes as well. Like a lot of good Spaceys will use the top platform and know that they can only get hit in many scenarios, like on Battlefield, if they commit and you guess the correct timing. So what a lot of them do, like let's say Leffen for example, is to just like pretend that he's coming down, but he's not. And the thing is, Peach can't really do anything like about it that is like good. Like Umbrella Gamble might give you 2%, and if you guess incorrectly, you will eat a shit ton of damage. So it can be a tricky scenario to deal with. What made me want to do 70? I feel like every other category, like every category that is shorter, is way too short. And have too much focus on backwards long jump, in my opinion. And 120 I feel like is too long, especially when you're new. I can't believe we actually saved that. I mean, I think 120 when you're like one of the best runners, it's fine. It's fine. It's like not too far off 1.5 hours, right? But when you're a new player, you're probably looking at like 2 hours, 2.5 for one run. It's just too much. It's too much. I think 70, you get to learn the game, you get to play a lot, and it's a good length. But yeah, as I said, even if it wasn't the case, like, let's pretend Japanese version was better for 70 star. Let's pretend that. Like, I think that's like the perfect example of when people overvalue some stuff. It's like someone that has like a mid 56. Why would like a version difference on a few seconds be like of your concern? I'm like 9.5 minutes from the world record. Like, now I know like some of these comments might be like for the memes and stuff, but like a lot of people, when it comes to like learning games and stuff, that's actually the approach they have. To learn the least relevant stuff first. But I've never been too much into handhelds in general. And then my older brother, he hated Sticker Star. And then I like read online and everyone seems to hate that game. I've said this on stream before, but the best review or like the best compliment towards Sticker Star from what I've ever heard is that the game eventually ends. That's like the best part about the game. Like, it feels like it's gonna last forever, but it actually does end. That's when people pop off. So I was like, you know, that's literally the best feedback I've heard about that game. So I'm like, I can't even bring myself to play it.